you laugh, shows that make you think, music that moves you. It could only be one place. Universal Broadcasting Network. Tune in at ubnradio.com.
Welcome to The Actor's Choice, where the actors and actresses have a chance to talk about themselves and their careers. Join us now for the next hour as we explore the marvelous industry of acting by actors and actresses from today's exciting show business world. And now, direct from Hollywood, here's your host, Ron Brewington.
Hi everybody, I'm Ron Brewington and welcome to The Actor's Choice. Brought to you by Photography is an Art. Harvey Brandman, Master Photographer, located at 1307 North San Fernando Boulevard in Burbank, California. And the newly released book, Mass Murders in America, written by attorney Ron Irwin, now available from Lulu Press at lulu.com, that's lulu.com, in paperback at a 30% discount price. Ladies and gentlemen, my guest today is a gentleman I met several weeks ago. When he told me who he was and what he's done, I told him, hey, we got to have you right here on The Actor's Choice. And so here he is today to tell you about himself as an actor, a playwright, and a director, all rolled up into one. Okay? So ladies and gentlemen, please help me in welcoming Ted Ryan. Ted, thank you for coming. Thank you for coming.
Fabulous to be here.
Thank you. And we got a lot of things to talk about today. My first question, how and when did you catch the acting bug?
Ooh.
That bug.
Okay, I caught the acting bug early on. It's kind of a funny story. There was a play in elementary school called Santa's Little Helper, and I auditioned for Santa, the lead, and I got elf number 7. And I loved it. I absolutely loved it. I loved everything about it. From there, we kind of fast forward to high school, where I really, really got into film from the 70s and 80s. I mean, I would go home and I would just, dating myself, I'd go to Blockbuster, and I'd get The Godfather, I'd get Tootsie, I'd get City Slickers. I mean, and I studied Pacino, De Niro, Meryl Streep, the greats, Brando. I could go on forever, and I have to say, seeing Scent of a Woman in high school, blew me away.
Oh yeah,
it blew me away. I looked at that and I said, I want to be that. I want to be that good. And then I studied all of his other films, and I realized there were some that, arguably or not, could have been a better performance too. So I fell in love with that. And then high school, I did plays. I did a lot of plays in high school. Mostly the supporting guy. I always got the supporting guy, which was great. In my opinion, at the time I wanted the lead. But to get the supporting character, you learn to be a character actor. You learn to wear all the hats. And then when I was 17, I saw in my theater department, which was run by Deborah Carrick, my high school theater teacher, who I got to give a shout out to. She's wonderful. The American Academy of Dramatic Arts was doing a summer program in New York. And I knew when I graduated high school I was going out west. I just knew I was going to California. So I knew this would be an awesome opportunity if I got accepted. And I got accepted, and there I was, 17 years old, 1994, in New York. Parents, my mom and stepdad took me, gave me boot camp in New York, actually before Surrey, before GPS, showed me the maps, dropped me off at Battery Park and said, okay, meet us across the city, and I did. And
did you get the hot dogs and the pretzels?
I got the hot dogs and pretzels, and at that time I got into bars. So believe it or not,
you was there.
But that's where I truly fell in love with acting. Conservatory acting, that was obviously a huge step from high school, doing scenes and plays, and I believe that's when I said, I want to do this. I'm going to do this. Not I want to, I'm going to.
What about actual training as an actor? How did you do that?
A lot of Meisner.
Okay.
Yeah, a lot of Strasberg.
Okay.
Movement, improv. Improv's big. I love improv. I hold everything on improv. You come up with ideas. You think off the cuff with improv.
So Meisner, and what was the other style you said you liked?
Strasberg.
Strasberg, okay.
Strasberg, yeah. Those are the two, yeah. So, you're talking about the method and repetition and, stream of consciousness and all that stuff, and it was fabulous.
Wow.
It was was a thrill. I mean, it is so, if you're lucky in life, you have a passion and you're able to follow it.
Yes. Support that you received and are still receiving from your family and friends in what you do.
My mother's my biggest fan. And, you know, my mother and my father, they're big fans. She's bent over backwards to they never stood in my way. Mm-hmm. And she'll tell you, we couldn't. I mean, if they had said, you know what, maybe you shouldn't, it's a hard life, it's not, you know, a blueprint, it's not easy, I would have said, thanks, taken off. You know? So, and they knew that.
Yeah.
But I never went without, and I was very nourished with everything I needed, especially in the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm very lucky.
Talk about those early roles that you had.
The early roles that I had, the first role that I had, let's go to Hollywood.
Okay.
Okay, because I went to the American Academy of Dramatic Arts in Pasadena when it was in Pasadena in 1996. And I only went for a year. I got rejected to come back. And for a 19-year-old, that was heartbreaking.
Okay.
Right? But I did a few plays there. Then I moved out to Hollywood in about 4 years later. And the first big part I got was Williamson in Glengarry Glen Ross.
Okay.
At the Working Stage Theater in Hollywood. I don't know if it's there anymore. And that was awesome. I mean, that was a movie that in high school I just loved. And the play, of course. And to be able to play a part that such great actors have played before, to step into that role. And man, it was fun. We had an 8-week run, and it was supposed to be 2. So yeah, it was, people liked it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yes, indeed.
And I can still remember my mom out there with her old school video camera, you know, taping her baby. So.
Thank you,
cool.
Mom. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Yes, you helped this man out, definitely, definitely. One of the roles you got was a movie called Cellmate, The Cellmate.
Yes.
Please tell us about it.
That was my first independent film, my first real film, actually. And I got it off of my first audition. And the director's name was Mark Cummins, or is Mark Cummins. And the role I played was a serial killer. And that was so fun that you don't know he is the serial killer until the end. It's a twist. And so I kind of got to step into those shoes, and I, you know, loved it. I really got into the character, really went dark, really went deep, and it was a lot of fun. It was great. It was my first time on a film set. Wow. And I mean, in high school, we do film and video. You take the video camera home, do things, you know. But this was my first time on the film set. And I remember, you know, okay, ready, we're rolling, action, and, you know, and then you just do it.
Right.
You just do it.
Yes.
And there it is.
For actors, memorizing those lines is one thing. I'm amazed at how they do it.
Yeah. And then I also learned you get to a film set, you memorize all the lines, and they say, nope, here's the new scene and the new monologue. And you're like, oh, okay. So, but you know, on a film set, you have 8 hours to sit around, so
Yes,
until
indeed.
you're ready to go.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
We happen to have your acting reel, so let's everybody take a look at this. Here's Ted Ryan's acting reel.
Please. Innocence gang, we got the house surrounded. I'm gonna give you to the count of 30 to come on out and start serving justice. So, what got you in here?
Stayed out past my bedtime.
What?
I killed some guys.
How many?
6.
Wow, really? Why?
The real question is what brought me to that point. I'm not about to tell you.
I'm sorry. Am I keeping you from some appointments? Mr. Plummer, people in town been talking.
They amazingly want to make him the law of Bannock.
Shake on it.
All right.
I hate weakness. I slaughter the spineless nobodies of the world.
You listen here, you piece of shit.
I'm the birdie, huh? Who's the little birdie now, Ken?
What's going on here?
Nothing, Mr. Officer. You know, just horsing around.
It's been Plumber the whole time.
The Montana Vigilante's next stop is the office of the town sheriff.
Plumber! Come on out!
What you boys want?
No, you're the one responsible for what's been going on.
That's right.
It's been you all along. We know it's you.
You got it all wrong.
No, you got it all wrong, mister. Let's hang him anyway.
All right, Ted, that was nice.
Thank you.
I like that black and white.
Yeah, I got very lucky with that. You dream of getting a film noir scene.
Yes.
Especially something you can put on a reel. That was cool. It was all, the flashbacks were shot in black and white, and I was in all the flashbacks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got a couple other pictures of some other roles that you did. Can you show us that one? There's one right there, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I did a play called Pulling Leather, which I wrote. First play I ever wrote, and that's me starring in it as Jacob Thomas. He's a rodeo cowboy, saddle bronc rider, and pulling leather is a term that when you're losing your confidence on the horse, and you have to hold on for balance, you have to take your free hand and hold the saddle, you're disqualified.
Okay.
And I took that as a way of creating a play about someone who's losing their balance in life.
Okay.
And in both the rodeo and both life.
And both life.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Here's another one that we have of you. You got that gun there.
Hotel Secrets and Legends, Travel Channel, 4 years ago. It was, an improv recreation, one of those reality recreations, and it was great. I mean, because I love improv, I said that, and who doesn't want to dress up like a cowboy on the old Paramount Studio, Western Studios, and for 3 days, and I was a vigilante.
Right.
We were looking for the Innocence Gang. They apparently robbed the town, and it was so much fun. Doing a Southern accent, the drawl.
Yes.
Yeah.
Being
being like a kid. You're like a kid playing cowboys.
Right. Cowboys and war movies
like
are
that.
two things. Right.
Yeah. It's kind of you want to see some of the best acting. Look at children.
Right. Yes.
Playing around. So.
Who were some of your early mentors, people that you looked up to?
Well,
as an actor.
Al Pacino, Deborah Carrick was my high school theater teacher, and she, above everything else, I mean, I remember reading plays. During lunch, I'd go in the theater room and read plays. That's what I would do. And she was a great mentor and a great lady, but she also really taught me. She pulled me aside and said, you really want to do this. I have a lot of students, but you want to do this. And I said, yeah. And she said, it's going to take a while. You need to know. It's persistence. Right. It's staying in the game.
Right.
But she said, if anyone can do it, you can, because you stay in the game. I can see that about you. And so to hear that at 18, to hear those lessons was something important. Gotcha. My mother, of course, and there was an acting teacher, or there is. His name is Phil Boroff. He worked at the American Academy of Dramatic Arts back then. And he was the first person. I auditioned for him when I went to the summer program, and I auditioned for him a year later when I went to the regular program. Right. And he was really a fascinating guy, a mentor as well.
As you know, actors have large egos, and one of the things we talk about with actors is to be able to accept criticism and don't get mad about it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah. Definitely. Right. Definitely. I mean.
Because you're going to have some directors that want you to do it that way and do it this way.
And then you'll have some directors who say, do it this way, just say it like this.
Right.
Done.
Right.
And you have to get past, well, I'm just a robot now.
Right.
You have to get past that.
You got to get past that, yes, for
and
sure.
You're not, because you got there.
Right.
You're there,
right.
So you're talented.
You went through all the period of the process.
And that's why I am big on doing plays as an actor, because it will teach you to hurry up and do it. You know, it's like a wedding. You got this deadline, so and I've been married. I am married, and that year is cray. You know, it's crazy, but you have a deadline. You have a month. Put it together, because when you're on the film set, believe me, let's go, and you better be ready.
Okay.
So,
what are some of your favorite genres? Comedy, drama?
Drama definitely, and comedy, but drama definitely. I you know. Some of my favorite films are The Godfather, both 1 and 2 and 3, and the whole trilogy. But then again, you know, City Slickers and Parenthood are always on in my house as movies. They're just extremely funny. I'm a goofball. No, I really am. I like to make fun of life. I think you need to.
Yes.
You know, otherwise you'll cry too much. But both of those genres, yeah. So both of them, you know, I guess I'm all across the board. I like a nice murder mystery and stuff, but I'm more of a put in The Godfather, put in a drama.
Got you.
Yeah, at home type guy.
Okay. What's the biggest role you've had so far as an actor?
The biggest role I've had so far as an actor would actually be on stage in True West, and I played Austin in True West, and I love Sam Shepard. Fell in love with him in high school.
Yeah.
You know, may he rest. Beautiful, beautiful writer. Opened my mind to everything. And of course, I saw Gary Sinise and John Malkovich do it. And you know, at the Steppenwolf, I didn't see it. I saw it on the VHS tape. You know, they'd show you in high school in theater class. And so I got to do that in Los Angeles. It's a small theater, but it was the best.
Right.
Stretch I ever did, because there's so many different ways to do that part. You know,
small theaters are much nicer. They're closer to you.
They're intimate. They're intimate. It's almost like film acting.
Yeah.
You know, you're right there. You know, so don't, you know, take it down.
Yes.
You know, type thing.
Right. When you got 1,500 people sitting in the audience, go, oh my gosh. Yes.
Right. Exactly.
Yes. The thought of directing films, I'm sure that came across a few
Always.
times.
I'm an actor, so yeah.
Tell us about it.
Well, like I said, and I think every actor and every writer, every artist in that field has an idea of how they see it in their mind.
Yes.
And to me, that's obviously directing. You know, how you see it in your mind, how you see it happening, how you see it going. Before I approach a role, I see how I see this role happening, how I see it going. In high school, we did a lot of film and video, you know, like I said, and I did, with my wife, you know, the whole YouTube thing. I'm on YouTube under Ted Ryan, and the first one I ever did was Jack Ryan's brother, and you know Jack Ryan?
Oh, yes.
So it would be the old Harrison Ford ones from the 90s, and I was a telemarketer at the time, one of my odd jobs, and I spliced myself in where you'd see images of Jack Ryan doing something, you know, where's John Miller, I think it is. And then he'd text me, and then I text, and then you'd cut to me on, you know, doing my telemarketing job. So the whole joke of it was this guy, Jack Ryan, who's a patriot, has a brother who's a telemarketer. So, you know, I love doing stuff like that. And we've done other short little things, but I would love to direct. And I think a lot of that comes from, you know how you want it done.
Right. Right.
You know how you want it done. Yeah. And I would bet that everybody on the film set thinks they're better than the director.
No.
Yeah, because they know how they should do it. So,
exactly.
You know.
Yes, indeed. Working with high technology and special effects in films.
I'll be honest with you, I've yet to do that. I've yet to do any green screen or anything like that. But again, I have to go back to theatrical acting, because when you're doing a black box theater, production, like you put $400 into in the production value, it's about acting. It's about writing. It's about storytelling. That's it. It's not like these people are going to be, look at this huge set and everything. So the reason I bring that up is I would imagine if you're in front of a green screen with nothing else, it's you. It's what you bring. You know, but I am looking forward to doing it. I would love to. Yeah.
Interesting. We talked about this in the green room, and it's one thing that actors always have to work with, and that is keeping constant and consistent work as an actor, getting employed.
100%.
Especially in this town.
100%.
Yes.
You can't let your, because there could be months without an audition, you know, and you can't let your muscle go. You can't, because, or it could be your agent calls you tomorrow. You got this thing, and you just got to flex the muscle. It's like anything. It's like the gym.
Yes.
It's the gym.
It is the gym.
You know, you sometimes you don't want to go.
Yeah.
But you got to, you know, to keep fresh.
Yeah.
And you love it. And every time you do it, you realize how much more you love it, especially if you've taken time off. You know, there's been times I took 2, 3, 6 months off from doing stage.
Right.
And there's been times where I do one back to back to back to back to back, depending on what's going on in life.
Right.
And every time I go back, I realize, you know, one of my favorite, to quote Al Pacino, again, is Life on the Wire. The stage is a wire.
Stage is a wire.
Stage is a wire. I mean, film cut, let's do it again. You know, that didn't go well. I don't know, I blinked, whatever. No. You know, back in, real quick, back at the Academy, I did a play called Love, Suicide at Schofield Barracks.
Okay.
And it was my first lead in life. And I played Captain Martin, and he was doing this inquiry about why the general and his wife did a love-suicide pact. And all the actors were on stage. They were facing the audience, sitting down, and I'm walking around going, okay, you know, this and that and the other thing. And I said, and play opens, and I forget my first line. It goes blank. And I turn to the actors sitting there, and I'm like, and then what felt like a year went by, and then the other actor said something, and I picked it up. Living on the wire.
Yeah.
You got to, you know, so yeah. It's
That's
fun.
great. It's fun, but it's also a teaching.
It's a teaching lesson.
Yes.
It's a teaching lesson.
Definitely.
Yeah, of course.
Because you forgot that. Love
My mother was in the audience, too.
Oh,
I was like,
no.
oh, no, Mom.
Moms.
I'm good, I promise.
Right. Yeah. What they call it, mic fright, camera panic.
Yeah.
Stage fright.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, all these things, all psychological.
Yeah, exactly.
But there's so many things on your mind as an actor. Your position on the stage, what are you doing? I love it. I love it.
Yeah, and then you have to learn to just forget about it and do it.
And just do it.
You know, rush to embarrassment.
Yes.
And just do it. You know, don't be afraid to make a fool of yourself.
Okay.
'Cause otherwise, in my opinion, you'll never be a success.
Indeed. Ted, then you had a thought about writing plays. Let's talk about that, the writing bug.
I got to be honest with you, and I'll make this a quick story.
Take your time, sir.
At the time, I was going through a depression in my life. Something had happened, and I threw me into a depression, you know, literally 8 months on a couch. We've all been there, you know.
Yeah.
Well, you just give up. And I was talking to a counselor who actually I've been talking to since childhood. You know, my mom set it up so I could talk to this guy, Hank Keneally, another mentor. And he's, you know, I was doing all these things, of stream of consciousness just wouldn't stop talking, you know how it is. Yeah. And he said, why don't you journal this stuff? And I said, I don't know. He said, why don't you write a play? And I, at the time, had the luxury of not being able to work. I had money in the bank. I could take a year off. And I wrote a play. And it was just me, single, and my cat, Kobe, who's another mentor who's not with us. But
nice name.
Yeah. And just, I would write the play, and then it just, this was pulling leather, and then it just grew and grew and grew, and it consumed me. It was a perfect thing to consume me. It was therapy. It really was. I would go to the diner at night, and I'm sure the waitresses hated me. This guy again who's ordering coffee for 5 hours, but I would try to tip him a couple bucks.
Yes.
And it was just therapy. And then I had the good fortune to do it at the Actors Forum. Audrey Singer gave me, let's do it, you know, and I did the lead. My whole family came out. My mother called me, another daunting thing. Oh, they're coming, your aunts, your uncles. What? Okay, I better not. You know, better be good. And it was wonderful.
Yeah.
And I love acting.
What did they say to you after the show was over?
Oh, God, they were blown away. They were blown away. Blown away that I think a lot of people are, you know, supportive and everything, but you're still doing it and you're doing great, you know, type thing. And that was great. That was a great story.
Yeah.
You know, those things. And that's what you do. You know, writing is wonderful. That's kind of where it all starts. It's the foundation. Yeah. There's nothing better than having actors say, I took it because I couldn't put it down. You've written something wonderfully. When I've written something awesome for an actor, that's it.
Got to ask you about this. This is as a writer.
Please.
How do you solve writer's block?
Good one. You know, I sit down and just try to do it, and then of course you get annoyed, and you kind of have to learn to walk away till for me, till you get the idea.
Right.
If you can't work through it, walk away. I know other people will say, no, you just work through it. And I know someday if I'm in the writing room and we got to do this episode in a week, though, you know, but you. And again, improv, stream of consciousness. I think back to my improvs in life. I mean, there's plays that I've done with jokes that were from. It's like a stand-up comedian. You don't get that set, that brilliant set overnight. That's years of jokes that worked or didn't. You all put together. So, you know, and then you just remember. You remember a story from childhood.
Yeah.
You know, you free your mind as much as you can. But if you get frustrated, for me, I have to walk away.
Got you.
Otherwise, I will go a little crazy at the computer.
Yeah. I like your technique. I have my own. Everybody's got their own. My technique is I'm writing and I'll go blind here. Oh my! I reach into my pocket, pull my wallet, look in the wallet, and start typing again, man. Everybody's got their own way.
No more motivation, better motivation than that.
Yes, indeed.
No, think about your what you want to think about the Oscar speech you want to give, and then start writing.
Thank you. Okay. We need to take a short break, Ted, to pay our bills. Our guest today, ladies and gentlemen, actor, playwright, and director Ted Ryan. The Burbank studio of Harvey Brandman, known as Photography as an Art, is proud to offer a free $100 discount certificate for you or your family for any photo package worth $300 or more. Brandman has been in the business for nearly a quarter of a century and really knows how to take care of you. So give him a call today, ladies and gentlemen, at 818-954-9294. That's 818-954-9294. You'll be glad you did, and be sure to tell him that you heard about his offer right here on The Actor's Choice. Mass Murders in America, a solid, realistic, and informative book seen and heard in today's headlines. Mass Murders in America details every mass murder since September 1949 up to September 2015 in the San Bernardino case. Attorney Ron Irwin wrote the book, which is currently available for a 30% discount price. To get your copy today, go to Lulu Press at lulu.com. That's lulu.com. And finally, if you have a product or a service that you would like to have played on this program, just call 323-533-1036. That's 323-533-1036. I just want to take a moment. Last night I got a word that a dear friend of mine that I've known for well over 30 years, he passed away last night. His name is George Wilson. Him and I used to work at American Urban Radio Network back in the day. He was the Capitol Hill chief and I was the LA bureau chief. And he just turned 70 years old and he passed. I'd like to dedicate this program to him today. I talked to his widow this morning. She's taking it real good, but he's a memory. This guy knew everybody and anybody on Capitol Hill. He knew everybody. George Wilson, we're going to miss you. My guest today is veteran actor, playwright, and director Ted Ryan. I'm your host, Ron Brewington, and this is The Actor's Choice. Okay, Ted, before the break, we were talking about you getting bitten by the writing bug. So what was your first play? I think you told me already, but can you
Pulling Leather.
Pulling Leather, okay.
Yeah.
Pulling Leather, okay. And what inspired you to do that play?
Like I was saying, you know, I was going through a kind of a crisis in my life, you know, depression, and I had a good friend, a counselor, tell me, you know, why don't you start writing? Why don't you write a play? You need something to take your mind off of this.
Some therapy.
Channel that into a play, and the play is about a saddle bronc rodeo who loses his confidence in life, and I was like, oh, that, you know, that idea, I like plays that overlap, you know.
Okay.
One story going on while another one does, and that idea that he's losing his confidence in the rodeo ring, and he's also losing it in life. And I was losing my confidence in life. I had to get back on the horse,
okay,
so to speak. And So that's truly why it started, and then I fell in love with it, absolutely in love with the whole process. I'm an actor through and through, but writing has just been amazing for me. It's been an amazing, maybe it's therapy. I like to get lost. You know, the world's a tough place. There's a lot going on, and you know, sometimes you just want to, you know, and same thing. You like to step into another person's shoes. That's why you act.
Sure.
You like to do that.
And then when you guys do the stage read, that's where it really is good. After you've written it, you haven't seen it yet.
To hear people vocalize your dialogue and what you thought, and then they'll do it. Not every actor is the same, so it's a thrill to see another actor do it differently.
Yes.
You know, it's great.
Because I'm on the board of directors of the Inner City Cultural Center, and for this month and next month, we're doing a bunch of stage plays, readings of stage plays, and we've invited the public. We've been putting pressure out on it. People are coming in droves. They like you say, but it's good for the actors, especially the writer, to sit there and watch the actors do their thing, and then at the end, like they do with movies, at the end when they do this. That's when you say, wow, look at it, look at that. It's just words, and that's what I love about actors.
Sure.
You guys and girls, you take just a bunch of words and make them jump up off that page and come alive.
Bring them to life, exactly.
Love it. You notice each time you did another play, you're getting better and better and better, aren't you?
Sure. I've only done 2 full-length plays.
Okay.
I've done a lot of one-acts. I've done a lot of sketches.
Okay.
As a writer, you write a lot of stuff that just never sees past your computer.
Okay.
I mean, you know, it's just how it goes.
Okay.
But it's, again, you flex the muscle.
Okay.
You get better and better every time you write.
Right.
And I've learned you can't write for the notoriety. You can't write for the possible paycheck, because you'll get lost. You have to write just for you.
Right.
And I hope that when I'm at a point where it's really large, you know, success, I'm still writing for me.
Right.
It's still just for me and my friends and family and wife. What do you think? You know, isn't this cool?
Yeah.
And then show it to the world.
Gotcha.
And see if it's successful.
Mr. Ryan, you are real. You are real, my friend. What's that special project? What's the one you've always wanted to do, but you haven't done it yet?
Special project
Special
that
project.
I've always
A
wanted
play,
to
a
do.
nice play.
That I've never, a special project, I would say it would actually be Death of a Salesman. You know, I never got to play Biff.
Okay.
No, I love that part, and I'm a little older now, and maybe Willie Loman will be around the corner, you know, in life.
Yeah.
I would love to do that show. That is a timeless classic, one that I've read, I don't know, 50 times at least by myself, you know.
Okay.
And one that I read when I suffering from insomnia and I need to calm myself and just focus. It's brilliant.
Right.
So, yeah.
Talented people such as yourself, I find that you get ideas in crazy places. I talk to singers, they will be going down the street writing stuff. Actors get ideas, writers. Where do you get your ideas from?
You know, it sometimes it's even a joke.
Okay.
Sometimes it's even a joke. Like, oh, that would make a great movie.
Okay.
That would make a great song. The only difference is an artist will make it into everybody said that. That would be a good movie, that idea. You know, sometimes, you're right, you walk down the street, that would be a great movie. Sometimes it's life experience. Sometimes it's a combination of both, you know. But definitely I've been, again, with Pulling Leather, I was on the couch, kind of depressed, and I turned on the TV, and the movie Brokeback Mountain came on, and in that movie, Jake Gyllenhaal's character, I forget, Jack Twist, he's a rodeo cowboy. And I thank God for Google, seriously. I opened it up, started Googling, rodeo and rodeo terminology, and Pulling Leather came up. And light bulb, that's a good title. Wow. That's a good title. And then I found out what it meant. And I'm like, that mirrors what I'm going through. And then, just as an example, that's, yeah.
Do you write by textbook, or you just off the cuff whenever you
Off
feel
the cuff. 100%. I mean, I've written screenplays now. I have a few in development, and so it's more of a structure. But I initially write improv style. Literally for the first draft, improv style. I keep it all up here.
Yeah.
Hopefully, I can keep doing that for a while.
Right.
I keep it all up here, and then when it gets too big, I write down the characters, what I've come up with. I do the structure, so it's probably a little backwards compared to what some other people do. That's just what I do. And again, from years of improv, I love improv. I told you, and so I improv write.
Yeah.
And it's worked for me.
Yeah. I can just see the new style of acting. There are 8 already. We could have number 9, Ryan. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
No, not at all.
Nothing
not at
wrong
all.
with that at all. You know, one of the bugs that I do in this show, and I love to do this show anyway, you know, the Actor's Choice, I love doing it. We get a lot of actors, producers, directors, we get people all in the business. But I have a bone to pick sometime with some actors. They come to Hollywood, you know, this is Hollywood. I want to be on TV, I want to be on the big screen. But they don't realize the necessity and the good that you get out of getting up on that stage. Your thoughts, sir?
Yeah. I'll be the first to tell you, you know, back when I came to Hollywood, other than the fact that my acting teacher told me the struggle, I thought it'd be a little more instantaneous than it is. And it's a lot of hard work and a lot of you do plays to stretch the muscle, yes, but, you know, theater does bring success. There will be someone in the audience. I'm in this interview right now because Ron Erwin saw the play I'm currently wrote with my partner and, you know, said, you got to interview this guy. This is going somewhere. This is good stuff. And you still have to believe people will go out and see it. You know, Steve Martin said a quote on one of the YouTube or Facebook things, and it says, be that good.
Be that good.
Be that effing good.
Yes.
You know, I mean, you could do anything. You could go to parties. You could send out headshots. You could be that good. They can't say no.
Okay.
And I hope that doesn't sound too arrogant,
but
that's what it takes.
That's it.
That's what it takes.
Be arrogant. Ain't nothing wrong with being arrogant. Shoot, look all the people we got in strange places being arrogant.
I hear you. I hear you. So get out there and let people see you.
Gotcha.
Because if you just sit at home and mail out headshots, you're one of...
Yes.
Unless you got a look
that
is just, wow, you're a star, then, you know.
Folks, I just want to tell you that this gentleman last night, this has been a great weekend for him. He did a play that he co-wrote with Tin Pinovic.
Correct.
And tell us about this play, because it closed last night.
It closed last night after a 5-week run, 1-week extension. It is called The Cape and the Clan. And it is about, it's based on true events. It's about a lone reporter back in 1945, went undercover, Caucasian reporter, went undercover posing as a black-hating man to the Ku Klux Klan. Back then, from the research I've done, nobody knew what it was. They thought it was a fraternal organization. Nobody knew what they were doing. And so he went undercover, posed as a Klansman, found out what they were doing, and took it to judges, took it to FBI. Nobody wanted to look at it. Nobody, you know, they could have been at one of them themselves. Who knows? It's the Deep South. And he took it to the Superman radio show, the kids one, you know, and they put it on. They did a 17-episode arc called The Cape versus the Fiery Cross, and Tin called me. Tin, my writing partner on this, we used to be roommates back in the Hollywood Studio City days. We're talking 2000, you know. And we always wanted to do something. And to piggyback to what I was saying, it takes time. It takes time. We would have never, without the life experience, without the fact that we found this idea, without everything going on in this country, everything comes together. But you got to hang in there. I thoroughly believe that. With hard work, luck, and talent, we'll meet. And the right people will meet. I can tell you that right now because I'm seeing it in all my projects. Okay, but anyway, this play is extremely powerful.
Yes,
because of obviously what it deals with. And he called me and he said, "Did you know this was a thing?" I said, "No," and he said, yeah, that would be a awesome play. And I said, yeah. And he said, well, you know, you've written one, I haven't yet.
Okay.
And I'm a writer. Can we do this together? Hammered it out in about 4 months. I am a member of the Group Repertory Theater, a great theater company.
Okay.
And I did a staged reading. He flew in, and they were floored at the stage reading. And the artistic director, again, couldn't say no. It was that good. He even told me. And, you know, we had to do some rewrites, and then, you know, things happen, and, you know, they're doing other stuff, and I kept emailing, hey, let's do it, you know, bugging a little. And then stuff in Charlottesville happened, you know, with the tiki torches and those losers, and so I emailed him, and I said, unfortunately, this is relevant. You know, still, and this is going to be great.
Yes.
And we need to get this message out. That obviously, what this guy did, some say what this lone reporter did started the civil rights movement. Some claim that.
Right.
But it's been a fabulous play. I've been lucky. We wrote it and we thought, yeah, this is cool.
Wow.
You know, and then we got 5 great reviews. You know, I mean, people crying. People are crying at the end of the show, not because they got us over, but they're crying because it hit them with tears. That's amazing.
Yes.
I've never had that.
Wow.
That's a great compliment. Coming up to me, saying thank you. People of all different races, all different religions, saying thank you. The play is, you know, Superman says, I'm an immigrant too. I'm from another strange planet too. Da 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 da. It's very pro-peace, you know, and one of the lines in the play that sums it up in the way I feel about diversity is all hearts are born clean. It's how they're raised that decides whether or not they get dirty.
So true.
That's it.
Right. Racism starts in the home.
You see 2 kids playing on the playground, 2 years old, they're playing.
They're playing.
You want to go play? Let's go swing.
Right.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Starts in the home. So we got to get rid of that.
Wow. Now, you guys are in a small theater, courtesy of that repertory group you talked about.
Yes.
And
shout out to them.
Thank you. Thank you. A shout out to them. You want to do it again in another theater?
Oh, it's going to happen. This thing's got legs, Ron. And, you know, again, sounding arrogant, but not, because this thing does have legs. If it was Pulling Leather was good, but it's a slice of life play. Yeah. Okay, whatever. You know, and people were like, oh, that was great. That was good. Good job. Yeah. And, you know, this one, how can it not? We had the NAACP come down, Theater Awards, 5 times to see it.
Wow.
And they don't normally, from what I hear, only come once.
Right.
You know, and we've had other artistic directors from other theater companies come to see it. So, yeah, I'm hustling to get it out there, but I don't think it'll be too much of a hustle. I've already gotten emails this morning.
All right. So that's good. That's beautiful.
Right.
Last night, when you guys did your last play last night, the last one, tell our viewers, if you would, about what's that like for you guys as a group of people, the writers, the artists, everybody. What was that like?
You know, I've done plays where it's fun. I've done plays where it's not so fun.
Right.
It's hard. Egos get in the way. You don't like the director. You know, it's in a really bad venue. It's hard. Parking sucks. Oh, I could go on, you know. But we became a family. Wow. This is a great ensemble cast, and we became a family, and to me, it's like a baby. It's my baby, you know, to watch it grow. And the cast, just to see their Facebook post, oh my God, this is the best. It's amazing to be part of something real, part of something important, good writing, excellent writing. And, you know, we became a family, very close, and then it's all over. For now, for that production. And we're all still friends, and we're all still going to love each other and everything, but there were tears. Happy tears, sad tears, all kinds, you know, and it doesn't hit you till it's over. You ask my wife, I told her, you know, come Monday. After my interview, because I was pumped for this, but I said, you know, and then I'm going to go home at night and hit the computer, because I'm working on another screenplay. The producer-director wants to see a 3rd draft, so, you know, you just move on. So I've learned having another project, keep it going, keep it going, because it's over for that. And it's bittersweet.
Yes.
Yeah. But the best experience one of the best I've ever had.
We got some pictures of the actors. You had some
Amazing.
good actors.
Amazing talent.
Gotcha. Can you
Amazing
put those
talent.
now? Can you tell us who they are, please?
Sure. Let me see here. Okay, so we're looking at the radio players. The guy in the middle, he played Superman, is Scott Seifert.
Okay.
The one next to him in the tie is Bruce Nelson. He
Okay.
played Smitty, which is the character actor of the radio group. The young lady there in the pink, she is Kristen Thomas Rolls.
Okay.
She played Lana King, which is the character Lois Lane.
Okay.
You know, and the gentleman next to her is Michael Thatcher, and he played Jimmy Olsen among all the other little kid parts. He had a great time with that.
Okay.
You know, he had little like, let's go get him. You know.
Okay. Who we got here?
On the older gentleman in the green is Bix Barnaba. He played the really evil Klansman.
Okay.
Really evil. Like Ron Erwin said, if you didn't know this, you had to remind yourself this is a play, otherwise you wanted to go out there and kill him.
Okay.
The one getting the gun pointed to his head is Doug Haverty, the undercover reporter. Excellent job.
Okay.
Yeah. And they all came together great.
Okay. Next picture.
These two, the young lady is Natalia Santamaria.
Okay.
She played the wife of the Superman radio show producer.
Right.
And her whole thing was, you know, should we be taking this risk?
Right.
You know, because, you know, they could get killed.
Sure.
And the gentleman next to her is, he played Bob Van Meeren. His name is Matthew Hoffman. Excellent actor. Just excellent. He plays a suave, sophisticated guy who takes a chance.
Gotcha. Now,
You know.
we got one more picture for you. There you go.
Okay. Well, I told you about Bix, the Klansman. The young African-American actress is Shalonda Shaw Reese. And she was incredible. There's a scene that Tin and I wrote together that was the hardest scene we ever wrote, where she's in a Klan meeting and you can imagine what happens, and tears and Academy Award stuff.
Wow.
Right up there with Viola Davis.
Wow.
I mean, seriously. And at the audition was that. She didn't have to build up to that. At the audition, Stan and I were like, whoa.
Wow.
Nailed it. They all nailed it. I'm blessed. I'm blessed. They came together. And this is after, you know, when you produce a show, a lot of actors drop out.
Sure. Oh, yeah.
You know, and you end up with the guy who, Matthew,
Right.
and both Superman and Scott were like replacements.
Yeah.
And they ended up being great. It's super.
Wow.
I can speak for them. They're probably at home. If they're not watching, they're at home a little sad today.
Yes. Obviously, I can tell you, Ted, you got a lot out of this play for yourself.
I did.
Yeah.
I did. And the message of the play, the sole message is one person. All it takes is one person to make a difference.
Okay.
One person with enough guts to make a difference. And I do not want to get too political,
Yeah.
you know, but, you know, you're sitting at home during last year and everything going on Facebook and the hatred and the this and the that, and you think, what can I do? I can vote, I can march, I can, you know, and what can I do? And then the story came to us, and both Tina and I are like, yeah, we can, that is something we can do.
Yes.
Not only to tell a cool story, tell a powerful story. Have people walking away with a powerful message. I'm sick of the hate,
Yeah.
as I'm sure everybody is.
Sick of
You
it.
know, and so I've been blessed to be able to change hearts and minds and bring people to tears and laughter at the same time. It's great.
Great. Okay.
Excellent.
Future plans and hopes that you wish to accomplish.
Play Ron Howard in a biography.
Oh, okay.
Call me Ron. No, I get mistaken a lot for you. No, or work with him.
Yeah.
Future plans, like I said, I have 2 screenplays deep in development.
Okay.
I say deep. I've been working with people for 2 years on it, and that's how the game goes. And you got to stick with it.
Yeah.
It's like getting to the top of the mountain, and they had another mountain, but you got to do it. So those 2 things, career-wise and acting-wise, just build up my resume more with film, because I love film. I belong on a set. You know, we all belong somewhere. I belong either on a set or in front of a computer writing, or with my wife. You know, so, or my cats.
Give them
So,
my best, please.
yeah, I will.
Nice.
I
Look forward
will.
to meeting you.
I will.
What do you see as the future for this business as a whole?
For this business as a whole, well, you know, it's pretty obvious, equality. I mean, look at what's going on. Thank God. I mean, and thank the people that are doing it. Thank Frances McDormand, you know, when that was her last, you know, what she said. I mean, because I've been fortunate not to, in my life, not to have to deal with diversity.
Yeah.
But I've had a lot of friends, male, female, who have, and it's broken my heart.
Right.
And I've seen it firsthand. And so to see diversity, I hope it doesn't sound too cliche. I hope we can base on talent,
Right.
not on looks.
On talent.
I understand if it's Thor, you need Chris Hemsworth, but on talent, what do you have to show? What can you do? Not how do you look?
Right.
That's what I want to see for this business.
One quick question.
Sure.
How do you want to be remembered?
How do I want to be remembered? I want to be remembered, when you think of me, I want you to think of me with a smile. He's a nice guy. He cared. He changed the world as best he could for his vision, for what he could do, with his talent, with his words, with his humanity, you know, what it is to be human. And in my opinion, it's treating everybody like an equal.
Wow.
And that's, I hope, when I'm gone, people will remember that. And then they'll go tell a joke and have fun, because, you know, I don't want you to waste too much time. I'm gone. You know, go live life and enjoy it.
Ted, we're glad to have you here, man.
Thanks,
Come on
Ron.
back again. Congratulations on what you're doing.
Invite me back again. I'd love
No
to.
problem.
This was
Open invitation. Come
awesome.
on back. Come
Awesome.
on back. I want to thank our sponsors, Harvey Brahman with Photography as an Art. Call 818-954-9294. That's 818-954-9294. Get a free $100 discount certificate for every or any photo packages over $300. And attorney Ron Irwin, author of Mass Murders in America, to get a 30% discount price. Please contact Lulu Press at lulu.com. That's lulu.com. I want to thank our guest, Ted Ryan.
Thank you, sir.
And we want to thank you for coming on down and joining us. And we'll see you next time.